COLA, not 3.2%. Now, I know what you're thinking. Steve, I thought the Social Security Administration announced that the increase, the annual cost of living adjustment, was going to be 3.2%. And Steve, you've already shared here on the channel the Social Security COLA increases for 2024 for each and every category of Social Security, for the retired, the disabled, those on SSI, all the different benefit categories, with the average monthly increases we can expect in 2024 and the average monthly check amounts that we can anticipate. Well, that's true. However, I already know, because I had several viewers reach out to me in December of last year with shock and surprise when their COLA increase was not what was announced. Take a look. Check your mailbox in early December. The Social Security Administration said it will begin mailing notices of the increases to beneficiaries in early December, and many said it did not match up. Millions were impacted by this. Now take a look. Social Security Administration also said that information about Medicare changes for 2024 will be available. And take a look. Here's exactly how much Medicare Part B premiums will be deducted from your Social Security checks in 2024. And yes, the increases you're expecting, well, they're not going to be matching up exactly with the 3.2% with this. And also, Social Security COLA 2024 may impact your taxes in a big way, as a lot of people are going to be entering into new tax brackets unexpectedly. And that bump up they were anticipating of 3.2%, well, it might not quite match up. Now, here's how much your Social Security check may be in 2024 after the 3.2% cost of living adjustment, after Medicare Part B premiums are deducted, and after you take into consideration new taxation on your benefits as well. Now, this, I think, rings true for why we need increases across the board, like those proposed by Bernie Sanders in the Social Security Expansion Act for an additional $200 per month, like was proposed by President Joe Biden almost 3 years ago. And that is why a lot of people are saying as well, we need $1,400 one-time checks to go out to help our seniors, the disabled, those that depend on these benefits. This is not an entitlement program. It's something people have paid into, and now when it's time for them to receive it, they need it to be there, and they don't need additional taxation, double taxes on the benefits that they are to receive. Now, stick around to the end for some updates on those across-the-board increases, as I've got a lot of information that's been coming out recently. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. But let's go ahead and dive into what you can expect in the coming months with your cost of living adjustment increase for Social Security and why it might not quite be 3.2%. Now, before we do me a quick favor, smash the like button. Just takes a second, helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. And if you want to stay up to date on everything going on, and I know there's a lot with Social Security, Congress, our economy, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I'll make sure that you're up to speed on everything taking place. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into the articles and get you caught up on the latest. All right, so before we dive into the deductions, first let's take a look at the baseline increase of 3.2%, what you can anticipate if you're not impacted by Medicare Part B premiums or by taxation. Now, Social Security COLA increase 2024 retirees, the average monthly increase, so yours might be more, might be less, depending on your monthly check, will be $58. And the check you can anticipate on average is $1,885. Workers with disability can expect a $47 per month increase, and the average 2024 check amount will be $1,530 for them. Senior couples, both receiving benefits, can expect a $95 increase, and their average check, the average, is $3,067. Widows and widowers can expect a monthly increase of $55, with the average check being $1,759, and widowers or widows with 2 children can expect a $113 increase, with $3,633 being the typical average check. And again, you might receive more, you might receive less. These are the averages, and your bump ups will depend on how much you're already receiving. So as I mentioned, in December, you'll be receiving notices from the Social Security Administration identifying how much your bump up will be. And a lot of people are going to do the math on these, and they might see that it does not equate to a 3.2% increase. And here are some of the reasons why. Now, first off, here's an article that came out in just the past week that's going to give us a little bit more details, and it says standard Medicare Part B premiums. Most Social Security recipients who are enrolled in Medicare Part B have their monthly premiums automatically deducted from their Social Security benefit payments. Most of these individuals also qualify for the standard Part B premiums, which are available to beneficiaries filing individual tax returns with modified adjusted gross incomes, or MAGI, of $103,000 or less, and to beneficiaries filing joint tax returns with Magi of $206,000 or less. Now in 2024, the standard Medicare Part B monthly premium will be $174.70. This reflects a $9.80 per month increase from the premium amount in 2023. So in other words, if you were expecting, say, $60 of an increase for the Social Security cost of living adjustment, well, deduct about $10 from that. That's going to be a $50 increase. So when your payments come, if they're a little bit less, it could be because of Medicare Part B. Now, that's not the only financial impact on the way for Medicare Part B members, though. Also, the annual deductible for the Part B will also increase by $14 to $240 total next year. The CMS stated that the increase is primarily due to higher anticipated healthcare costs. And as I mentioned, Medicare is not the only deduction that's going to be taking place. Just take a look. Social Security cost of living adjustment 2024 may impact your taxes in a big way. Now, scrolling down, the article says up to 85% of Social Security benefits can be taxable when income exceeds certain thresholds. Unlike other parts of the federal income tax code, the income thresholds that subject Social Security benefits to taxation have never been adjusted for inflation. And that is what people call double tax, or some call it a stealth tax. And they're saying it is not right. We need to adjust these brackets or get rid of it altogether. Consequently, as Social Security income increases due to COLAs, that can bump more retirees into the threshold that triggers the tax on Social Security benefits. And take a look, here are the amounts. And as I mentioned, many are calling this the stealth tax. As previously reported by Go Banking Rates, individuals with provisional income above $25,000, so this is for individuals, or above $32,000 for those that file jointly, have up to 50% of their Social Security income taxed. For individuals with provisional income above $34,000, so an individual filing that makes more than $34,000, or joint filers that make above $44,000, up to 85% of your Social Security is taxed. So if you were looking forward to these increases, but they happen to push you up over these tax brackets, well, you might not be getting that 3.2% increase like you were expecting. You might be dishing out more in taxes. Now, to clarify, provisional income includes your gross income, tax-free interest from bonds and other sources, and 50% of your Social Security benefits. For example, if you have $50,000 in income and receive $1,500 a month from Social Security, you'll pay taxes on 85% of your $18,000 in yearly benefits, or $15,300. Now, because of historically high COLAs that we've been experiencing the past couple of years, more seniors are now subject to the 85% tax. More and more people are getting pushed up into the brackets unexpectedly, and when they get those letters in December, they're suddenly shocked that benefits are not what they thought, and more is being deducted from their checks. It's like they're giving us increases with one hand and taking it away with the other. But if the thresholds had been adjusted for inflation over the years, listen to this. The original $25,000 threshold would now be around $73,000. You could collect up to $73,000, not pay one penny in double taxation for Social Security, according to the Senior Citizens League, a nonpartisan advocacy group. The $32,000 threshold for couples, it would be $93,200. Critics contend that the tax rules governing Social Security discriminate against older Americans who depend on the program for a big chunk of their retirement income. A survey earlier this year from the Senior Citizens League found that 58% of older taxpayers want the Social Security thresholds adjusted, and I've heard from a lot of people here on the channel, they just want them removed altogether because they don't think double taxation on Social Security benefits is right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, many are calling for a one-time payment of $1,400. This was called by the Senior Citizens League over 2 years ago, when people are saying this is needed now more than ever before. We actually are hurting even more so with inflation, and those on these fixed income benefits need some form of help. And we also had the Social Security Expansion Act released, which aligned with President Joe Biden's tweet from nearly 3 years ago saying that those that receive Social Security should get an increase across the board of $200 per month. However, we have not seen any legislation come to fruition at this time. We've seen bills proposed, we've seen them introduced, but none have hit the floor in Congress Congress for a vote. Now, to get more information about the potential increases that are being proposed, be sure to check out these videos right here as I cover them in detail. And there's been a lot coming out on Social Security in just the past couple weeks, and it looks like there's going to be more ramping up into December. I will keep you up to date every step of the way, you guys. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.